Hey, sleepyheads! Welcome back to another episode of Bed by Nine. Here's the deal Hev and I are going to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Godzilla vs. Kong. You're going to enjoy it and drink some drink from your giraffe cup. Deal? Deal. Enjoy!
Hey,
Hi.
guys, welcome to another soft opening to an episode of Bed by Nine.
Very soft.
Let's leave all of that in.
Flaccid opening.
All right, maybe not. I'm your host, have a sore back today.
What'd you do?
And your other host,
What did you do?
I jumped playing basketball, and as soon as I jumped, my back said, "Get down."
So you did a basic human
yeah,
physical
that
activity
makes
in
sense.
it.
And what's really bad, and I know you're not gonna believe me, it was the second game of the night, and the first game, I was unstoppable.
Yeah.
I have two witnesses to how unstoppable I was.
Oh, wow.
So I had 13 of our 15 points. It was just very great.
Okay.
And
How long was the game?
20 minutes.
You scored 15 points?
13 of the 15 points.
But like your team scored 15 points in 20 minutes?
Yeah, no, because it's we go the first one to this point wins.
Is it 1 point per basket instead of two?
Yes. No, it's one.
Three's worth two?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so 30 points in a normal game.
You're thinking too much about it, but okay, yeah. But it was.
I know basketball. Paul Pierce.
Plays for which team?
He just had those strippers. That's all I know.
All right.
That's the extent. No, he played for the Celtics at the end of his the whole career. End of his career for sure.
No.
At the end of his career.
No.
Who did he play after the Celtics?
Played for the Clippers, the
Ew.
Washington Wizards,
Ew.
and the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, I like Washington Wizards because it's alliteration. They should be called the Boston Beltics.
I hate you so
Because
much.
they're Bloods.
Are they one of the five Bloods?
Oh, God. R.I.P. Chadwick. I'm not even going to.
There's another thing a white
NBA YoungBoy's in jail.
For.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know anything about him or any songs about him?
He took his grill out, I think. And no, to your other question, I don't know any of his songs.
I know he's a rapper, but
Yeah.
I know nothing else about
I
that
don't know
genre.
anything about really any of the new generation other than Esket It. Lil Pump. I know.
You mean Lil Trump?
Is Guap Dad 4000 new gen? I like Guap. It's a check. That's about. Also, I don't really listen to rap all that much, so I don't.
Did you see how Guap was promoting his last album?
No.
He would get on TikTok trends and just be like, "Go stream my album." It didn't matter what what it was.
I
It's
like that he's not beneath that. I appreciate the hustle.
And then he was on Lil Nas's page. He was like, "Damn, some news for other people who drop music, man." It was the most hilarious thing I've seen.
That's why I like Lil Nas X. He hustles the hell out of it. He's like, of course I'm gonna do desperate shit to get myself to number one. I want to be number one.
I don't think he does desperate stuff. I think he knows
What gets attention?
Yeah, he's a master troll. He's a very good artist, and yeah, he knows how to run the internet.
Yeah, good for him. He's like our generation, or the new generation's like Kardashians. I don't know. Not in like, I mean, I'm sure if he put out a sex tape, people would watch it.
A certain sect of people would watch it.
At least like 40% of the population would watch it. Because I think there's a certain side of the straight community that is just like celebrity sex tapes.
Okay, fair. I would say that. And the other 60% will want to hear about it at least.
Right. Yeah. Like a Fox News review or something like that.
Review a sex tape. Okay. All right. So how was your week so far? Thus far. Fortnite.
Fine. Played tennis, worked, decided to go vegan, and played PS5.
What was the name of the documentary that made you go?
Seaspiracy. Guys on Netflix, if you don't want
anything in your life to change, just don't watch it. That's really, like, it's wild. And I've been thinking about it for a while because every time I watch a documentary or like Sarah McLachlan sings or something like that, then I'm like, oh, I should really stop eating meat and animal products and stuff like that because it's sad. And this is a big step for me because I mean, I eat meat like every freaking day. But I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. And I have this meal plan service from like a local chef in Phoenix that is going to like prep all my meals for me.
When does it start?
Monday.
So you're having chicken wings for tonight and tomorrow?
Well, so I was telling Sado, I was like, okay, well, I need to like get all my lasts in this weekend. So like last night I was like, I just want melty, cheesy Mexican food. So I got that.
Also butter.
Yeah. No, I think I ate a stick this morning, so it's just.
For the longest time, I had vegan butter, and I
just, oh, God.
And I didn't
butter.
No, I got it because it was extremely healthy, and it was part of all of the diets and stuff that I was looking at. Is like you get this type of butter, it doesn't matter the type of brand and everything like that. So, and I went and I got it, and for the longest time I was cooking with it, and I think Andrew was the first person who was like, "What is this crap?"
He could tell the difference. Could you tell the difference, or you were cooking long enough with it?
I was cooking with it for years.
Yeah,
and I didn't know the difference. And he was like, "No, what is this crap?" And I'm like, "It's butter." He's like, "This is not even margarine." And I'm like, "What?"
It's not even.
And then I looked at it, and then he got real butter, and then I'm like, "Oh,
yeah.
Oh, is that what flavor is?
Yeah.
Like? So okay, so
I think it depends on how you eat things, right? Like I drink oat milk or almond milk or soy milk, but I also have real milk in my fridge, and it's like if I do in anything but cereal, I don't know. Like I'll put any type of milk in a smoothie, and like you can't really tell because you have all these other flavors in it, right? But like when it's just cereal and your Cap'n Crunch or whatever, like you can tell the milk difference.
Yeah, I can taste that titty.
Yeah,
you taste that?
That is a phrase I've said so many times in my life. You don't even know. I can
also taste it in coffee. Those are the two
okay. See, I don't drink coffee, so.
Yeah. When that fat comes through.
Yeah. So, but the nice thing is the meal plan service that I feel like as long as I'm getting the food prepared for me and I don't have to like actually cook and it's just readily available, I think I'll be okay.
Right.
It's like, it's even like with fast food, even if like you'll eat whatever, like the temptation is always like when you're hungry and you don't want to cook, that's when you go out and you eat fast food or whatever.
Right.
So this meal plan service is from like one of the most renowned vegan chef. He has a meal delivery service in Phoenix. You pick however many meals that you want, and then every Monday they deliver all the pre-made meals in a cooler, and then you just store it in the fridge for the week, heat it up or whatever. You follow their heating instructions, and then the next Monday you give them back. You like exchange coolers, and then they give you like your new meals. But it's 6 new meals every day, and you can choose whether you want 6 or 12. So I picked 12 because I was like, take care of my lunches, take care of my dinners. So we'll see.
You're doing this a month, correct?
It's per week, so 12 meals per week.
No, I know, but you're lasting a month, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try it like for a month, see how I feel. Like, I'm sure I will have moments of weakness, and I'll probably divulge into something. But, yeah.
Okay.
Figure why not? Let's just go balls to the wall.
When I went vegetarian for a month, it was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the hard part will be like going out, because like even last night when we went to the Mexican restaurant, I was just like, even if I wanted something vegan here, like I would have to ask them to like special make something, just because like it's, so you have to be like very, direct with where you're going before you can't just like randomly go to a place. Like you have to check that shit first.
Potato tacos.
They had French fries. That's why I could have done that.
So you open-faced corn potato tacos you can have. So that being said, when you do go vegan, Coronado down.
I've had it.
Yeah.
Really good.
They have amazing potato tacos.
There's a place called Nami
It's
as
not across the
well.
street.
It's in the same vicinity, but they have like desserts and all that stuff too. And obviously, Urban Cookie has all their desserts. But I have a huge sweet tooth, so I'm gonna have to probably go to like Urban Cookies like once a week and just like load up on shit that I can actually eat, or I'll just buy like chocolate chips. I don't know.
Well,
peanut butter. So
you have
good luck to
a large, tough mental fortitude, dexterity, endeavor in front of you.
Yes.
But
I am up for the challenge. And the great thing is I can quit whenever I want. So hey.
Yeah. I'm gonna sneak butter in.
Please don't.
Just butter.
Fine. I didn't say that. But yeah. So did Mexican because I was like I just want melty cheese and all that shit. Tonight I think we're going to like a steak dinner because I'm like I just need to kill one more cow and then we'll start over and then we'll go.
What about tomorrow?
Speaking of it's probably chicken wings. I don't know. Like you know me, I eat wings every week, so it'll be hard. But speaking of who else eats meat, Godzilla. I don't even think he does. I think he eats like gamma rays or some sort of like. I think he like absorbs what comes from nuclear energy, right?
If you would have just said like C rays for the gamma rays, I would have.
I'm not. That's like 4 steps of a joke, and I can't do it.
All right. So our first topic: Kong versus Zilla.
Gang.
Going into the movie, how did you feel about it? What were your expectations?
My expectations were it's going to be a lot of action and the plot line's going to be awful.
I was going into it thinking, this is a goddamn dinosaur. This is a movie. He's going to win. I don't even
that
care
can
about
shoot like a laser from his mouth.
Like lasers of death.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did not see any trailers. And also, fun fact, I haven't seen any of the others.
Oh, okay.
So,
not even the ones from like the 60s that are in black and white? Okay.
No. I might have saw, I think I saw the Kong movie with Jack Black.
Oh,
but I don't think that's a part of this
like
series.
no, that like 13 years ago or something like that.
So and so going in, so I'm just like, this is goddamn dinosaur.
That was a remake of like the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
no expectations.
It's a dinosaur. Who it can rip apart a monkey. So and then
arms like that.
That is true. That is very, very true. Yeah. Expectations were low. I was just going in for the popcorn, the ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, let's talk.
You can't have popcorn from the theater.
Well, no, yeah, that's good.
Well, no, actually, I think that's not real. But
let's talk about more things I can eat. I'm so looking forward to Monday.
All right, so the movie starts.
Yeah, as most movies do.
Snyder cut. God. The movie starts, and how does it start? It starts with Godzilla attack, right?
No, it starts with you're in Kong's little cocoon thing that they put him in.
And once again, humans doing too much.
The most.
Keeping Kong trapped.
For his benefit.
For his benefit. It's just like us to keep something
right in a cage and be like, it's for its own good.
And that we have no idea or concept about it. And just be like, yeah, no. This is cool, right? And then Kong starts throwing real trees, artificial trees at the walls.
No, yeah, he like takes a real tree and just turns it into a spear real quick and just chucks it. And you're like, oh, this is weird because you don't know he's in a little facility, and then he breaks the little mirrored wall.
And then cuts to Godzilla doing Godzilla things. He attacks Florida.
A power plant.
It was
in
Florida.
Somewhere, yeah, China, or just a place I don't want to go.
Florida.
Wherever it was.
And I'm just like, that's probably the most normal thing that happens to people in Florida. Have a dinosaur attack its coast and then destroy multiple buildings with how crazy Floridians are.
Yeah, just Godzilla just penetrated Florida, kind of like Matt Gaetz did to a 17-year-old. Shout out Florida. Current events.
Current events. Okay. And then this is basically the story back and forth. Godzilla, Kong.
You're nailing this movie.
I am nailing this movie.
Deaf girl. Sign language.
Podcast.
Hot daughter of whoever owns that company being a bitch to everyone.
Spanish daughter, for sure. So I want to talk about this. So we're going to keep going down this path of the movie. The next scene is the podcast guy.
Yeah.
And he
conspiracy theorist type dude.
The black dude from Atlanta.
And he works for the company that
Apex.
Yeah.
Apex.
I was thinking Monarch, but that's the other side. Yes, Apex. So he has this podcast where he's talking about how like Apex and everyone is covering up the fact that there's like a whole conspiracy between Kong and Godzilla going on, right? Homeboy works for Apex, has a podcast bashing Apex, doesn't even bother changing his voice.
Yeah.
Like, has nothing over it. You work for like a crazy ass tech company that could easily find out who you are.
But he didn't have any validity to stories about that.
But he's a paranoid person.
Yeah, that's
You would think that he would just, like, he was in a bunker of, like, in a Chinese market to hide himself from these people. Like, you would think he would just, I don't know, get some T-Pain on his voice and...
Auto-tune?
Yeah, like, what?
So, paranoid podcast guy with no auto-tune.
No auto-tune.
He goes into basically his work day, but he goes into a different department. He starts hacking. And during the hack...
I have something to say about that when you're done, yeah.
Godzilla hacks. Go ahead, talk about it.
The whole movie. Apex. Again, giant tech company. Worst motherfucking security I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, we can talk about that later on, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
but that was the first instance of terrible security. He just walks in, some guy, he's like, "Oh, you can leave. Go leave." And then the guy doesn't lock his computer.
Yeah.
He just sits down and just starts hacking.
First off, he annoyed him so much that he was like, "I'm just gotta leave. I'm not gonna lock my computer at all."
Which I get.
Yeah.
Annoying.
You want to use my hand sanitizer?
Yeah, right. It's all natural.
Oh my god.
It's vegan.
Oh god. Godzilla attacks. That building gets destroyed, and then somehow he still gets to the point where he's wandering around the building unscathed.
Right. And then there's like two military people when he's like walking around down at the lower levels.
Like, "Hey, where's your security badge?" And he's like, "Look, this is not the time to worry about security badge. Guns!" And then Godzilla destroys him.
Saved by Godzilla.
Yeah. So it starts off like that. And it just goes downhill yet uphill from there. I think the next scene goes to Monarch's daughter, 11, who is a fan of the conspiracy theorist.
Oh, yeah.
That was this gentleman the scene before.
Which, granted, in the movie prior, it focused a lot on her and her dad, which you saw a little bit of him in the movie. But, like, she's very well exposed to the whole...
Godzilla.
Yeah, the whole thing, right? So, like, she knows this shit's real.
I'm going to start off here with her getting into this business. I'm going to jump ahead a scene or two and then be like, someone needs to be watching this go. First and foremost.
Yeah, where's her dad?
Working. And one, you're in an industry where someone should be doing most of this job for you, bruh. Watch your daughter.
Well,
how did she take off in the middle of the day and just, it's like, oh, I have time to go on this exploration trip to go find this podcast, brother? And I'm just like...
She found him quick, too.
Yeah.
If she could find him quick, imagine how quick Apex could find him.
Right.
If they wanted to.
I mean, she listened enough. It's like, oh, he has a lot of bleach. He's like, oh, he's drinking bleach?
Yeah,
Oh.
let's go find a place that sells a lot of bleach, and then of course she finds it.
Oh
Like
my
what?
God. And of course it was in Chinatown. No, and that scene opened up was like, oh, this is the last place we're gonna look, guys. And it happened to be the one that has it.
Yep.
So, God,
Scooby Doo level shit right there.
God, I am so fucking weird. So, all right. Before that, no. So after the building gets attacked, then the owner of Apex goes to the guy who has went to the middle of the earth before. What's that place called? Middle Shadow Realm from Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm. So he went to the guy. He's like, I need to recruit you for his trip.
Yeah, Alex Skarsgård. Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna recruit you for the trip.
Because his brother went there, but died.
No questions asked. He's like, if I go there, it's gonna turn you inside out. And he's like, I have a shit for that. And immediately I
Tesla.
thought, immediately I thought, it's like, how did you test that? Did that go through UAT?
I think it just like did really well on all the roller coasters at California Adventure, and they're like, I think we'll be okay.
Did that, and then his next scene is going to Kong Island, talking to the girl who is
the most efficient workers, though, and can convince people within 5 minutes of any conversation.
It's weird.
A contract at my work takes 2 months to go through. And we already had a contract with them. So,
I'm waiting for an implementation project of mine to start off, and it's been a month and a half. So
I'm just saying, however these timelines work, if they worked in real life, I would love that.
Yeah, everyone would be dead from Godzilla if they worked in real life. So goes to Kong Island to recruit Kong. And you know what? They thought was like, hey, we need Kong to lead us to the Shadow Realm, middle of the earth. How are we going to transport Kong? What's the most efficient way? On open boat water.
Yep. And they also want to do that because I think they're realizing that, Godzilla knows Kong exists and he wants to kill him because they have an ancient rivalry.
And it can only be one apex.
Right. So then they're like, oh, we want to transfer, Godzilla, where we have to go to Antarctica to get him into... Oh, yeah. We gotta get King Kong to Antarctica so we can bring him to the center of the earth. The best way to do that would be via ocean. Guess who's in the ocean?
Godzilla.
Oh.
I was just like, I know this is going to end
Right.
poorly.
The whole time I was like, where Godzilla's not? In the air.
Yeah, in the air. Y'all could just hover him over the water.
And guess what they realized that they should have done from the beginning?
In over the air.
Oh yeah, we should have we should have just tranquilized him and then brought him there via air.
Yeah. And I'm just like, so the first battle
Idiots.
goes through.
Apex.
I'm like, this is stupid. All the boats should be dead. Everyone should have drowned. This should have been the end of it right then. But somehow, both Godzilla and Kong can touch this one boat and it not shatter to pieces like the
Not just touch. He jumped from one boat to the other.
Yep, and he climbed. And he turned it over. I'm just like, bro.
My favorite part of that was when both Kong and Godzilla were under the water and they're like, oh, the only way that we can save Kong is by dropping these depth charges.
Yeah.
That's going to discombobulate Godzilla, but not Kong, because it doesn't impact monkeys.
Because they're also human, guys. That's not.
And then it worked. It worked, guys. It did.
I hated it. I hated it. And
I was like, I get it. Kong had to survive, and you were all very stupid and didn't do it via the air. So, you know what would have been fun? What they could have done is done the air from the beginning. Godzilla somehow senses him, and then he just shoots pulses of things at him.
It would have been faster in the air. It would have,
idiots.
So many things. Okay. All right. So, basically, Godzilla wins this first round.
Yep.
They get to Antarctica.
Round 1, Gzilla.
They get to Antarctica. Godzilla is unsure about going into this dark hole in the side.
Yeah, in the snowy environment that he's never encountered in his life. Weird.
Right. And then the little girl who we haven't mentioned before, who's basically the sign language ape whisperer,
Guru. Yeah.
came up doing like, your family in there, Playboy. And he's like, deuces.
He's like, there's Playboys?
And he basically ran. So, wait.
There was no limit to, like, what you couldn't communicate to him in sign language.
Yeah, there was no limit.
He knew every word of ASL.
It's like he,
She's like, remember that one time in Harry Potter when they were fighting Voldemort? And he's like, yeah. He knew everything. It was ridiculous.
So this is one of the scenes, too, where the annoying daughter of Apex, who came along with the fancy ship, she was just like, my ships can light up Vegas. Or she said something stupidly annoying in the scene. And it was...
They had enough energy to light up Vegas for like a week or something like that.
And then she was just being so fucking cocky before like they started going down. So then it was like 3 ships. So Kong takes off, goes down. Basically, they find Middle Earth, the Shadow Realm, and then Kong realizes he's home. He beats up 2 dinosaurs.
Which it was a cool looking Middle Earth though. It was like inverted and copied. It was like a mirror.
Yeah. It wasn't a mirror. It was just 2 different scapes.
And then once you passed the threshold, then gravity started working the other way.
Yeah, it pulled you the other way. That's pretty dope. I really did enjoy that. Visually, the movie was amazing.
Yeah, looked great.
Yeah, it was
especially in IMAX. It was wonderful.
Oh, definitely. And then Kong basically gets drawn to a mountain with like the hand pointing out and everything like that. And he gets there, and one of the first things he finds is an axe.
With like a Godzilla spike on it, which we saw in the trailer.
Yeah,
we knew that had
happening.
some sort of thing, but we didn't know how he got it. It was like did he rip it off Godzilla's back and then construct this axe?
Or another ancient Godzilla-esque creature.
I would have never guessed that you would have found the axe in a throne room in the center of the earth.
Oh my god.
That skipped me. Bravo to you guys.
Of all places. And then that axe, when placed in that one section in the room, lit up the whole fucking room. And then at that point, Godzilla was in Japan. And then from Japan...
No, I think he's in China.
Same thing.
Racist.
Same thing.
No.
So he shot a beam
straight through the middle of the fucking earth. In
about,
what, maybe 3 minutes?
Maybe. Yeah. If that. And he basically destroyed the throne room from Japan up there. And then at that point, the evil plan that the daughter
Apex.
was about, was coming to life. Like above, we didn't even talk about the
because podcast dude, daughter of the Monarch guy, they somehow breach security again, end up getting into this the pod. We'll call it a mobile pod carrier
that had dinosaurs
in it from the previous movie, and then they get locked in it, and it travels them all the way to China, where all this is going on. And then they get there, and then the pod leads them to this underground sanctuary, where this is basically where everything else is happening, right? Godzilla is shooting his laser to the center of the earth to yell at Kong. And then in this thing, you see this mechanical Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla that Apex has made.
Once they landed, they also then kept wandering around this new building.
No, they had free range access. It was fine.
Every panel that they touched was like unlock. Oh, cool, we're in. And I'm just like,
no security pass, nothing. There was zero, and that's what pissed me off about this movie.
And they wandered into the testing site for.
I'm like, I have to change my computer password at work every 30 days. When I worked in an office, I had a key card to get entry into like the reception area.
Yeah, and you're testing dinosaur
and this
shit.
Is mortgages.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You're testing dinosaur shit. Have some more security, guys. I guess that's the whole point of the movie. Get more security, and you might have kept
Godzilla won't exist.
Yeah, pretty much. So find out Mecha Godzilla They're working on Mechagodzilla, and
Yep.
they need a power source.
They need a power source
That's
because
right.
what they're using right now just isn't cutting it.
Yeah.
And that's why they want real Godzilla so that they can channel his little energy into making their own, so then they can kill his Godzilla, and then humans can be the apex predator.
Yeah. It's just the most ridiculous thing ever. So Godzilla shoots the beam.
Kong then starts climbing up the hole.
Wait. We're missing a very important part.
Are
The
we?
daughter dies down there for being a bitch.
Wah.
So the daughter collects the energy source, sends the stuff up to the top somehow.
There is no issue with Wi-Fi
Nope.
or cellular data in the
Bluetooth.
center of the Earth.
It's Bluetooth, definitely.
Great connection.
And then she dies by shooting Kong, and then not thinking Kong is just not gonna grab it and just. And it just explodes. I'm like, that is the most fitting way to die in this movie. Okay, and then energy gets sent up. They start powering Mechagodzilla because they have all the materials that are in the middle.
They're
Earth
they're
up
already
there.
ready for it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they have whatever chemical balance. They have whatever all the new,
Programming's done.
like all
You
the
just
new
have to plug in the
chemicals.
new
Oh my God, yeah.
new power
I
source.
was like, oh, we didn't know 1 + 2 = X. Oh, that's all we needed? Let's put that in. I was so
Homeboy's
pissed
like, hey, we need to test this, the one that runs Mechagodzilla mentally or whatever.
because
then-
they have a skull
and
of
then-
an old dinosaur.
And he's like, no, just do it. Like, we don't need to test this. I want to get it done. And so then he, connects, and then, of course, it just takes over his body, and then Mechagodzilla becomes a thing of its own, and it starts thinking on its own.
And then it kills Apex Creator.
Yep. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Because you know what I didn't like? The head of the Apex and also his second command, both of them speak English that well. They were both stumbling across the whole thing. And
Why
it was
does that
just
bother
like,
you?
Because I'm like, y'all need to be evil with more American standards.
Why?
Because
They're in China.
No, they weren't at first. They took our drugs.
I don't think that's a valid complaint.
None of this is valid.
You can complain about the technology. You can complain about
There's lack of security.
the lack of security.
I can't complain about them not being
You can
speaking
complain.
English.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Okay. All right.
Mm-mm.
Fine. So then the last battle starts.
Yeah.
Well,
Great battle.
before Mecha,
There's like 3 last battles.
yeah, fair. Before Mecha powers up,
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla and
Kong do a little rodeo beef.
Rodeo Beef, Kong gets his ass whooped again
Mm-hmm. Puts up a good fight
because he's an ape against a dinosaur.
that shoots lasers from its mouth.
But he did have a cool scene, grabbed the axe, got lightning,
Yeah.
and stabbed him. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
dope.
yeah. We saw that in the trailer coming up.
Yeah.
And then basically Godzilla beats him. He like digs his claw into him and is standing over him. And
Yeah,
he's
it's
like,
like,
they both
"Stay
yell
down."
at each other. And then Kong kind of submits, but not really. But Godzilla's like, we both know I'm better. And then like walks away.
Yeah.
And then at that point, Mechagodzilla escapes, and
From
then
the
he's
mountain
and then
in
he's,
Japan.
yeah, China, and then he starts fighting the real Godzilla, and then the defibrillator. Kong's dying, right, on the brink of destruction, and then someone has the bright idea. Oh, I just wish we had enough energy to power Las Vegas for a week. Oh, if only someone had said that
Earlier.
40 minutes earlier.
Right.
Oh shit, they did. And so they used the fucking
Shit.
Tesla.
All he did was take out, I guess, the power cable and then turn it
Yeah,
around.
no, he
and
jump
plug it back
started
in.
a car.
Yeah.
It was the red clamp on the right nipple, the black clamp on the left nipple, and then they jolt Kong back to life. And the first thing Kong does is grabs like a building and just pops his shoulder back into place.
But do you remember how he escaped from the ship when he was over Kong, right? They showed him jumping from the ship, and then seconds later, he was miles away from Kong running.
Mm-hmm.
It was like behind the wire.
Yeah.
That same escape, you have 10 seconds before it explodes. I'm running through a construction building. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, come on, man. So that was funny. And then Kong.
And then Kong and Godzilla basically team up.
The girl, once again, sign language is like,
He's not your enemy, your friend. Guys, my sign language is rusty.
It looks like Keith was rapping.
Just like logic over here.
All right, and then he's not your friend. He's not. Yeah. Oh God,
he's like, oh yeah, I understand what you're saying. And then Kong and Godzilla team up, and they whoop Mechagodzilla's ass.
That metal that made Mechagodzilla must have been the same metal made out of that boat, because they could not destroy it.
It was like
easily.
adamantium. Like, isn't that what Wolverine's claws are made out of? Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
That's a real metal, but it's not real.
Oh.
That's not a real thing.
Okay.
All right.
Then, this is a different universe, I presume.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
That's why it's in Japan, right? All right.
It's China.
So, they fight, they win, they rip Mechagodzilla apart. China's in pieces below.
Just demolished.
There's so many deaths down below that they don't even recognize.
Also, another part that pissed me off.
Okay.
When they're in China, they are tracking Godzilla, and they see him like 100 miles off the coast, like change course, and they're like, oh yeah, he's going to China.
Yeah.
They don't bother to fucking tell anyone in China that a laser mouth shooting dinosaur is coming to their city and let them evacuate.
They did at the very end, right when he got to the coast.
You have in Oklahoma a tornado warning system that lets you know when like the air pressure drops to an area where fucking tornadoes can exist. You can't tell me that you can't tell people in China that a laser shooting dinosaur is coming to destroy your city.
So don't you remember when the dad was landing, or he was there, they showed like those scenes of people evacuating, so to speak, and then like all that fighting happens, and then in the fighting they show them crashing into buildings, and there's people like, oh my God, why am I still here? I'm like, y'all heard that, y'all knew you should have been out of this building by now. And I'm just like,
So poor evacuation planning, terrible security. Apparently, you can shoot a laser to the middle of the earth in 3 minutes, and then also upload via Bluetooth just the largest file that ever existed to man.
That is Godzilla.
That controls
power.
a dinosaur.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they destroy Mechagodzilla, and I think everyone in the theater was everyone was hoping in the theater that Godzilla and Kong had some sort of secret handshake. Like they were so close to doing it.
It was so close. And if they would have did that, like
I would have liked it more.
It would have been,
honestly, like it wouldn't have ruined the movie. There was plenty other things that ruined the movie, which it wasn't like a terrible movie. It was just stupid.
You know what you were getting into. Yeah, for sure.
Which I said before I went into it, I was like, it's going to be great action, and it's going to be the worst plotline you've ever experienced, and it was both. Yeah. I nailed it.
So
my expectations were met.
It ended with them being like, yeah, we're both good. I'm just going to leave. But I think Godzilla was like, you better go back to Middle Earth, Playboy, because I'm going to win yet again. And
then, of course, the end is Kong does go back to Middle Earth, the Shadow Realm, and then, of course, humans decide to go down there and monitor him. It's like, leave the motherfucker alone.
Y'all all deserve to die.
Also, there's not one human in Middle Earth. Why do you think we belong there?
Yeah.
We don't.
Within 30 seconds of them getting there, dinosaurs try to kill them.
There's two places I know in the world that we don't belong. Middle Earth and Florida. And we're in one of those two. Yeah, it's on. It's a podcast. Of course they're laughing. It's just going to be a week later when I decide to edit this motherfucker.
God. So, how many woos out of 5 would you
as much as I hated it, like I was hella enjoyed it, and it was my first time in a movie theater in God knows how long.
Right. Did you go see Tenet?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But that was like a year ago. That was like April last year, May last year.
Oh shit, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. And then I saw another movie in between him, but I'm still not allowed to talk about it until like 2 more weeks.
Okay.
Um,
Get over here.
Honestly, I was entertained the whole time.
Yeah.
Even like the stupid parts, I was like, "This is so stupid," and I was laughing.
Yeah.
So I was like, probably like a 7 or an 8. Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely would give it the same thing. And every time I think of like all the plot holes and the loopholes,
Like,
the
whatever.
the black podcast guy made me laugh almost every single time he was on the screen.
Yeah, he was
He
stupid.
was hilarious.
Stupid.
And at the end, he
Yeah.
met the dad. Was like, "Hey, I really respect everything you do. Can you be on my podcast next week?" He's like, "Bro, we're evacuating
Right.
still. Do you not? Cause this is the worst timing ever." He's like, "I get it.
Also,
3 p.m.
It's so hard for me to find like the right like peanut butter in a grocery store. The fact that his daughter found his dad in China, the most
Right.
populous
Right.
like fucking country in the world,
Right.
and they found each other within like 3 minutes after the whole city got destroyed. I was just like, okay, yeah,
It's
but not the
because-
most outlandish thing that happened in that movie.
No,
So whatever.
no, not the most outlandish at all. Yeah, I was entertained thoroughly, and just the whole time I was just frustrated and mad. But it was entertaining, and that's what we paid for.
Also, do you not have a smartphone? Drop a pin. Like, hello, this is where I'm at. Share your location.
They were static. Don't you remember the phone call between them?
I don't care.
Okay, fair. All right, that's how we felt about the movie, and yeah.
I mean, watch it. You'll be entertained. It's not that you
I
won't.
want to watch it again, honestly. But
You
from
can
here-
from your home.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend $16 on a ticket.
Yeah.
But I was happy to go back to a theater. Like, it was wonderful. I was like, oh my god, bucket seats and fucking soda and popcorn.
I want to go to iPic next. Just relax.
With the recline chairs. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So on to the next one. We're gonna recap the last 2 episodes of Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Less plot holes.
That's plot holes.
Worst.
Still some good plot holes.
Worst action. Not as good, but entertaining.
Worst.
It's not as good.
Worst. They're super
Does anyone
soldiers.
shoot a laser out of their mouth?
Yeah.
To the center of the earth?
We haven't seen the whole thing.
No. There's only 2 more episodes though.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's only 6.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, they are hour long, so
Yeah.
I get it.
It's about as much time as Scarlet Witch got. So
Well, Scarlet got 9.
right, but like
There's-
9, 30, 40-minute episodes. It's like 650. So
Yeah, the numbers.
I don't know. Do the
It's
math.
cool. So episode 3, since I just watched it, so I'll start it off. It
Okay.
was the episode where Bucky was like, "We need to go find this Hydra guy,"
Mhm.
and they're like, "No,
Zemo.
because Zemo," and he's like, "Because they manipulated you." Like, "I'm good. I'll be good." Then they break Zemo out. Technically, Zemo breaks himself out.
technically,
And then they go to Madagascar. This is not the real name of the place. It's Madrid.
Mandrapur.
Yeah,
I think.
Madagascar. Yeah.
It's if you look, it's actually the same city that Godzilla attacked. It's literally China. I think. Well, China's not a city. I know this, guys. I just don't know what city in China it is. I think it's Beijing.
It's Tokyo.
Also,
and-
not in China. By the end of this episode, you're gonna understand they're 2 different countries. I promise.
their food's good.
Different food.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. So they go to Mandrapur, I believe.
And they are trying to find the secret syrup. They get to Madripoor, and immediately there's problems. And I'm
Mhm.
just like,
Shocking.
one, I think it was very funny that immediately they had to set him up in a African outfit. What's his name?
He's like, I do look like this guy. What was his name? Smiling Tiger.
Yeah, Smiling Tiger. He set him up as a.
His outfit
Winter
was fly,
Soldier.
though.
I would.
I was like, I'd wear that.
For real talk, I want like an African shirt like that, and I would totally rock it.
Do it.
Because I'm massive shit.
Do
And then and then they get into a bar, and immediately there's problem. I love that scene. He was like, "Hey, Smiling Tiger, what's up?" And he's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "You want your regular?" He's like,
You know it.
"Yep." He cuts open a snake. I knew it was gonna be something,
it was something
ridiculous. Cuts open a snake, pours. What was it?
It was like whiskey or tequila or something
And then
like
pours that into
and then
that.
puts like the fucking stomach of the snake in the shot glass. He's
And
like, yep, my favorite.
his whole scene, I think that was the time that I laughed the hardest. He
He
was
like
just
holds up the shot.
huh. He looked at everyone, yeah, this is my...
It's just been so long since I've had it. My favorite.
I died. That was the best part. And then, small fight. Then they go up to the lesbian owner's establishment.
Because she has short hair.
Yeah, she's definitely lesbian. And immediately kill her. Immediately. And I'm just like, you guys are just creating plot holes. And then they did
because they got him because Sam forgot to turn his phone off.
Yeah.
And his sister calls him.
And like, put it on speaker. I'm like, yo, this ain't school. You ain't gonna make me put this shit on speaker.
No, I'll just answer it later.
Yeah. He was like, bank heist, I'm gonna kill that bank. I was like, I've never liked him more.
And somehow he gets outed. I can't remember the specifics
she says,
of it.
I'll talk to you later, Sam.
Oh yeah, who's Sam?
He's like, who knows? And then they kill him, and then immediately gets into what was that movie where they put a bounty on the killer's head?
You're thinking of the one with Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that movie?
There's 3 of them.
Yep.
John Wick.
Mm-hmm. So they immediately put a bounty on their head, and then now they have to fight through Madagascar, and it's just like
also a different country.
Mad. And they have to fight through, and all of a sudden they stumble upon the only other white person in the whole country. It's like, oh my God, you're an agent. We used to know each other. Help us. And she was like, cool, I got you.
Yeah, you got to go to the new Madripoor, not the old Madripoor. The new Madripoor is where all the rich people live. You're in the ghetto.
Because, and I know this is going to come out later, I think she's power broke. I know.
Probably.
Yeah, I think she's power broke.
I mean, she's got all those paintings.
And all that money. And I'm like, how? So, that being said, and then, what happens next?
They go to...
They find the scientist, because somehow they get that information.
She gets it.
Yes,
she has all the info.
Yeah, she does.
So they go to like a shipping dock with all the big shipping containers. And they're supposed to meet in this random one.
I love shipping container scenes because I know like one's gonna explode, one's gonna fall. It's like the A-Team. The movie.
Someone's gonna shoot like their gun. It's gonna ricochet off of the metal and hit someone. Someone's going to round a corner, and then the person chasing them is gonna round the corner, and the person's just gonna be standing there and stiff arm them. That's a guarantee in every single one.
Every single one.
And then there's gonna be at least 8 explosions.
Minimum.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Minimum. And all of that existed, I believe, in this scene.
Yeah. And this is the first time when you knew that the Hydra guy was up to no good.
Zemo.
Baron
Zemo.
Baron. And I also like the scene. I was like, "You rich? Man, I'm a Baron, bro."
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what that
Also,
means?
his dancing scene was wonderful. Just white guy dancing in the middle of this club.
White guy dancing is the most
in a club that's filled with the actual paintings of like Leonardo da Vinci and all these other Van Gogh and all these other artists. Like, I love evil people in movies. They know how to party.
Well,
so they're going after a scientist, right? A Hydra scientist that is replicating the super soldier serum.
Or he was previously replicating.
Well, he's the only one that would be able to track down Carly, who is the super soldier anti-person, that antagonist.
I don't know why they didn't just send that serum through Bluetooth like they did in Godzilla. Like, they could have just...
Did they have a pathway to the center of the Earth or not have...
They could have threw Captain America's shield and just kept chipping away until they got down there.
They could have, but they didn't.
Okay, they get there, kill him again, because they kill everyone they find in Madagascar.
They didn't kill him. I thought Baron killed him.
No, Baron kills him.
So they wanted him alive. Yeah. Baron was like, "Nah, I'm killing him."
Yeah, that's when.
And then he escapes.
Up to no good.
Yep.
Then he escapes. He puts on something like
his purple mask. That's like his signature.
Yeah. And
it's just like a sleeve from a sweater his grandma knitted him.
Yeah, and he didn't really get away because he meets up with them.
Yeah, he's
like,
playing.
"Bro."
He's playing both sides.
Yeah, and he's like, yo, that was crazy. What happened back there? And they're like, yo, don't do that again. He's like,
As he rolls up in his like James Bond
Yeah.
Corvette.
he's like,
Love
yo,
it.
you can take me in or you can get away right now. What do you want? They're like, okay, I guess we'll get away.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I was fucking like,
I love him.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's a
he's-
funny, evil person.
Yeah, he's a funny evil person, and they need that right now.
Mm-hmm.
How did this episode end? Because I know
You're the one that said that you just recently
I know.
watched
I
it.
just recently watched it this morning, a few hours ago, and then after that scene, because I know it's starting to. Now I'm just thinking about Wakanda.
It ends with they go to someplace in Europe, and as they're walking to go into a building to meet up with,
Bucky says, "I need to."
he sees like a ball, and he recognizes it as like something from Wakanda, and so he's like following the trackers, and then when he gets into an alleyway, the Magi, I think is what they're called. They show up. She shows up and she's like, "We
very
need to talk."
tall, black, bald women.
Yeah, and she's like, "We need to talk," and then that's when the episode ends.
Right. So
Episode 3 was great.
yeah, that was.
It was a really good episode.
I'm gonna rewatch them all when I roll.
Oh yeah, that's a good one to rewatch, I think.
And then the start of the next episode.
Such a good start.
When did you watch it?
Last night.
Last night.
Mhm.
How did it start? 'Cause I can't
It starts in Wakanda when Bucky is with her like a few
Yes.
years ago,
Yeah.
and she does his all the trigger words, the code word to activate the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
That was an amazing scene because she's saying it because she's like, you can beat this, like you don't have to be activated when someone does it, and then she says all the words and he doesn't actually turn into the Winter Soldier, and
He just
like
cries.
the crying, oh my god, I was like, oh Bucky, you did it, good job, Bucks.
I thought about in that scene. You're an actor, right? Or an actress? Or, I think they're both called actors.
Yes, I've had sex before.
Okay. You think like I'm saying these words and you have to cry. What are you thinking to make yourself cry? What would trigger yourself to cry in a scene like that? Because you know you have to cry.
That I live in a reality where security is just so tight at any company that you go to. How I would thrive in a reality where Godzilla and Kong exist because I could have access to any company that I want, and the fact that I just don't get to experience that.
And you can just talk to any store owner and find whoever you want.
Yeah, and the fact that I can't utilize that world. That's what I would cry over. I'm actually tearing up right now.
I was just thinking to have that sort of, I don't know, acting prowess to cry like that on a cue. That's tough. So I really enjoyed that scene too. So that was very.
It was
powerful.
amazing. He did a wonderful job.
And then they cut back to them talking back and forth. It's like, yo, why'd you let him out? I needed him, bro. He killed our king. But personally,
I needed him.
He didn't do anything to me. I needed him. He's like, yo, you got 8 hours, Playboy.
Right.
And then he goes back and tells them that, yeah, Wakanda's coming for you. And no one freaks out like that's. And they're like, okay, I guess we deal with it.
I guess we have 8 hours.
Yeah, bro. I would have been like, I'm done. Deuces. I'm a baron. I can fly. I can fly faster than Wakandans can walk. So let's get this going. That's what I would have been like.
Okay.
But then.
Now you're relying on me to do the next.
I can't remember because things keep happening in my head.
Yeah. So, well, in the previous episode, Carly, the super soldier, she killed a whole bunch of people in that one building. She exploded it.
Yeah.
Because she basically used them for what she needed to, and she couldn't leave a trace. And she was just like, well, they're collateral damage.
Trace.
So in this episode, they're basically still. Sam wants to meet up with Carly to like level with her and like talk to her. He's like, I understand where she's coming from and like what she's against because we're also against it. She's just going about this in a terrible way.
Right.
So they're trying to meet up with her and find her in the city. Baron, through his ultimate wisdom befriends like the impoverished children of the city
with the candy.
Turkish delight, which I've had
Oh my
before, and
God.
it's not delightful. It's like this weird. It's like weird
toffee.
jelly-ish kind of though. It's not good.
Well, they're yeah.
It's like vegan candy. Like it's just not.
It's gonna be your life for a
Yeah.
month.
So it's like I know what real candy tastes like, and this ain't it. So then through his connections, he ends up finding where Carly is, and Sam's like, okay, I'm going to meet up with you one-on-one, except it's really, two-on-one.
Well, it was at
No, it was one-on-one the first time.
Yeah, because he went to the funeral.
Yep. And then he
Captain
meets up with her.
America.
They're talking. They're leveling with each other. She's starting to like trust him a little bit. And then the new Captain America and all his little bullshit decides like, no, I'm capturing her right now. She's a terrorist.
But before that, that's when he got his ass
Oh,
whipped by
now
Wakandans.
you want to remember?
Right? Or was that after?
I thought that was during that whole.
No, because the Wakandans showed up to the house, and then they had that line, and he was like, oh, they're not super soldiers.
I thought that was the first part that they met up. He met up with Carly. Then Captain America comes in and she escapes, and then she escapes because the Magi or the Wakanda people came in and they all started fighting. Yeah, because he met up with Carly twice in that episode.
Yeah, he met up with Carly twice, but the Wakandans didn't show up to those scenes.
I thought they showed up to the first time that they met up. And then the second time, Sam and the Winter Soldier meet up with her.
So the first time he meets up with Carly, that gets broken up because Captain storms in. And when Captain storms in, Carly was like, oh, so you're with Captain? And he's like, nah, that's not how it is. Come on. And then she takes off.
Right.
Wakandans didn't come that time. They gets messed up because of Captain.
No, they did because that's when Baron escaped. The Wakandans showed up, and then they're all fighting, and then the Baron escapes. I promise.
No. Because, that's a different scene because they're in the hotel. Captain comes in, kicks the door in, and then he's like, look, it's now how I want it. Because that happens right after that scene. It happens right after. So he's like, this is how I want it. You're coming with me. You're going to jail. Because it's right after that scene. And they're like, you're not about to do it in jail. And then a spear comes and he gets back and breaks it up. And then Wakanda's coming and it's like, no, 8 hours is up. Now you're coming with me. And then he escapes.
Isn't that all in the same fucking room?
Nope. No, because it was that one room because they were at the funeral home. And then from the funeral home, they went back to that one Turkish Delight place where they got
the Turkish Delight.
So I know it's two different rooms, but you're right. It happens one after the other.
Yes, you're right. Glad we agreed.
And then Captain says, oh, they're not even super soldiers. And then he has to come to Jesus moment where he's like, I'm too weak to deal with any of these people.
I need to be a super soldier.
And then...
So then they meet up with... Sam finds a way to meet up with her again through his the white chick that's in Madripoor. They track everyone.
Haley called his sister.
Oh yeah.
Haley called the sister, and the sister scheduled a meeting.
Haley.
Carly.
Yeah.
I don't even think that is.
So anyway, it doesn't really matter how they get there. They met up again, Sam and Bucky. And she has the serum on her. And then, fucking Winter Soldier ends up getting a vial of the serum, and all the other serum gets destroyed by Baron. He, crushes it all. And so then Bucky, or not Bucky, the real Captain America, you don't see it, but he ends up taking one of the serum because in the next fight scene,
he's destroying everything with the shield.
Mutilating everyone. Kicking someone and they fly 5,000 feet.
He ran through the door and it's just shattered and you're like, huh.
And he's fighting with one of the characters. The guy swings a metal pipe at him and he bends it. And then Sam sees it all and he's like, what did you do? Yeah. Knowing exactly what he did.
And then his partner died.
Yep. through a fight. He
Because Carly
concussed.
Carly knocked him into a pipe. Oh no,
Or like a pillar. Yeah. And
that's the P word I was looking for.
And he hits his head and he
cracked and then shattered down, and I'm like, oh, he dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Captain snaps.
And boy, Captain murdered people.
Oh yeah.
No,
well,
one person. And I knew immediately when he snapped, someone's dying next. And the one guy he was running away, he's like, yo, I didn't do it. He's like, it don't matter.
Okay, you know her.
You associated.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she? And I would have been like, I can tell her. I can tell you exactly where he is.
Shields him in the fucking...
I thought he was going to decapitate him.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, but no, they didn't.
Over and over with the shit.
And then people out there with their phones, and I'm like, ooh.
Live streaming this shit.
I love it.
Because they have at least 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I bet. Oh, God. And then that scene where he puts the shield back and it's just bloody at the bottom, I loved it. I'm like, good. This is the first scene he was likable in.
You thought he was likable when he killed the dude?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because he was human.
No.
He was human.
Oh, the time that he's superhuman? He's human?
He's fine.
He's never been likable. He's been a douche the whole time.
Yeah, but now he did something I can relate to.
Bashing someone to death with a shield.
I do it in video games.
Okay.
And World of Warcraft.
Okay. When you're that dinosaur running around.
You don't know.
I saw it.
No, you didn't.
And I was like, why are you a dinosaur? And you answered.
What did I answer with?
Oh, I'm a dinosaur in like a shadow realm. I don't know. You're in the center of the earth. Godzilla's chasing you.
That is true. That does happen in there.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's the end of that episode.
Yeah,
and
it ends with like Captain America being like, oh fuck, everyone's recording me.
And I don't think he cared.
Probably not. No, I think that's the thing. There's only been one person that has taken the super soldier serum that has not had like their integrity
adverse effects
compromised, and that's been the original Captain America.
Bucky's all right.
Yeah, but we've seen the process that he's had to go through in order to be all right. So obviously, right. I think they said in the episode, like, taking the serum makes you more of who you are. Mm-hmm. And this guy is just a uptight...
anger monster.
Face punchable dude.
Yeah, I mean, he got his butt whooped by a bunch of black women. I'd be upset, too.
Well, I'd be turned on.
That's been another episode of Bed by 9.
Love ya.
And we'll be back at another movie and another recap of Soldier next time.
Alrighty.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.